Welcome to Shiny New Clients, the marketing podcast that helps you attract shiny new clients to your business. We'll talk about social media, what makes people buy, how to go viral, and marketing psychology, all in 20 minutes or less. Whether you're a coach, a stylist, or a wedding planner, if you've got a service-based business to sell, this is the show you need to fill your calendar. I'm Jenna Warriner, your new marketing coach, and this is Shiny New Clients. How many new clients do you need this month, realistically, to hit your income goals? 3, 5, 10? For service-based business owners, we are lucky in that typically working with us costs more than $30, right? If you're providing a service for someone, it's a little bit higher of a price point, which means you don't need as many clients as someone who's selling, say, a digital product or a low-ticket physical product. Why is that important? Well, because of conversion rates. If you walked up to 10 people and pitched them your service, how many of those people would convert? It'd be unrealistic to assume all 10 of them are going to convert, right? It's just unrealistic. Maybe they're not ready to buy right now. Maybe they're not your exact ideal client. So if only one of those 10 people bought, then that would be a 10% conversion rate. Without confusing all of us, mostly me, with math, the long and the short of it is when you're selling a more expensive service, you need fewer sales in order to hit those income goals. So you need fewer people's eyeballs overall thanks to conversion rates. Versus if you're selling a low ticket product, you need more exposure and more sales in order to make the same amount of money. In today's Shiny New Clients episode, we're talking about ways to get people onto your email list. And when you're talking about conversions, how many people from a pool are going to convert and become your client, email marketing actually has some of the highest conversion rates. And there are some very clear reasons for that, which we will get into. You know, I'm just going to digress for a second here, but as I've gone through, years and years in business and grown my business and hit all of these different milestones, the higher I've gotten, the more I've discovered that high level advice is usually about mindset. Like in my experience, when I go to coaches, it ends up being a conversation around mindset and the way that we're approaching our business, the way we're thinking about it versus like tactical, practical solutions. But I know that when you're in your first 2 to 5 years of business, oh my gosh, that's all you want to know. You're like, will somebody please just tell me how many emails to send a week? Will somebody please just tell me what platforms I'm going to get the best bang for my buck on? Will someone please just tell me what the heck conversions means? If you're sitting here listening to this podcast, I'm betting you're in that first, 1 to 5, 2 to 5 years of business, or you've been in the game for a little while, but maybe you've always survived on referrals. And now this is your first foray into marketing and marketing yourself using all of these online free platforms at your disposal. So today I want to stop gatekeeping and give you some practical, tactical actions you can take to grow your email list to get more clients coming into the doors of your business, or the virtual doors, as it were. First things first, if you're just starting out with email marketing and you're just starting to collect emails from your audience and then reach out to your audience in some sort of a newsletter, you don't need to pay for a service to do that. You can do that just through your own email, if you only have a dozen emails or so, or you can look for a free platform. At its core, all email marketing is emailing people, right? And you can do that from your Gmail address, easy peasy. Once you start to grow that list, then you can start paying for a service. And a lot of the services are tiered. So while your list is small, you pay less. The email software that I use is called ConvertKit, and I will link ConvertKit in the show notes. I like it. It was scary at first. I was like, what am I looking at? Because the back end of any software kind of looks a little freaky, right? It's even like when you look at your analytics on Instagram, you're like, ooh, there's charts. What do these mean? Tags, a new language to learn. I found with ConvertKit, once I learned the language, like a broadcast means an email, things like that. A sequence means a series of emails, things like that. Once I figured that out, I was off to the races. And now I've used it for years. I like it. It gives me everything that I need, and it's priced reasonably. As my list grows, the amount I pay grows as well. The main piece of advice that you need to know when you're starting a foray into email marketing is to not just sell to people, and don't turn to your email list only when you have something to sell. There's this term, nurturing your email list. And what we mean by that is email out value. Give your audience something to enjoy. Think about the emails you like receiving the most from businesses. They're not always selling to you. And most likely, if they are selling to you, there's a reason for you to choose now, like some sort of a promotion or a limited supply of something. Even in the social media strategy that I teach in my program, we have a growth, nurture, sales approach where we want to grow the numbers. So that's get people onto your list, nurture people by giving them value, making them feel comfortable, connecting with them. And then because you've spent your time nurturing them, then your sale is going to be more successful. So we want to do that on Instagram. We want to do that on social media. We also want to do that with our email list. In terms of frequency on how often you need to do this, once a week is awesome. If you can send out some piece of value to your list once a week. If you can't do once a week, do once a month. Whatever it is, just make sure to stay consistent and know that when you do choose a time to sell to that audience, all of those sales are going to be more successful if they're already used to seeing your name in their inbox and they're already used to opening letters from you because they're interesting to read, because they gain something when they read it, like a tip or value or an update or something like that. Why is it that email has such high conversion rates? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. One, you have guaranteed delivery. Obviously, sometimes you're going to end up in people's spam or whatever, but when you post on Instagram, it's not guaranteed to go out to all of your followers. But when you send a blast to your email list, it is guaranteed to go out to everyone whose name is on your list. Also, everyone on your list has chosen to be on your list. When you're using social media marketing, you blast your content out and it's going to be shown to strangers. And that's when they get to decide if they're going to follow you and stick around or not, right? But your email list, everyone has chosen to be there. Think about it. When was the last time your name ended up on a list that you didn't sign up for? It's never happened legally, I can tell you that, because the law, well, it depends on your country, but like the law is you need to agree to be on a list. It means you gave someone your name, you gave someone your email, or it maybe something shady happened where someone's like sold your email address. But again, that's not recommended and in many cases not legal. But the point is you chose to be on every mailing list that you are on. You curated that. And you also have the power to unsubscribe at any time. So it's a highly curated list of leads. So of course it's going to have a higher conversion rate. Imagine speaking to a room full of people. If everyone in that room was your ideal client, you're going to have a higher conversion rate of people who convert to working with you versus if the room was like a smattering of people who aren't all your ideal client. Then you're going to have a lower conversion rate, and that's totally normal. Once you start getting a little bit fancy with your email marketing, you can even sort your audience. So say you have a split audience. Maybe you serve people with a location-specific business, but then you also serve people with something virtual. So maybe you are a parenting coach and you will meet your clients at their home, but you will also do virtual consultations. Well, you can actually sort your audience to know that local people get a certain tag and virtual potential clients get a different tag. That way, if you're selling an in-person event, you don't need to bother all the people in Arkansas with it. You can just promote it to the people who are local to you. So then your conversion rates are going to be even higher, right? Because you're being super specific about who you're selling to and when, instead of blasting an offer out to people when it's not relevant to them. If you have streamed this show before, firstly, thank you. Hi, friend. How are you? Secondly, you're probably like, Jenna, why are you telling us to do email marketing now? One, we already have enough on our plates. And two, Don't you show people how to get clients from Instagram? Isn't that your whole thing in the program that you sell? Yes, friend, it is. It is the program that I sell. And here's why I am not concerned about email marketing coming for my job. Because like I said, you have to agree to get your name on an email marketing list, which means you have to meet someone before you get onto their list. You have to show up on their website. You have to see their content. You have to meet them in real life. You have to have a touch point before email marketing, which is what I think a lot of people who sell you on email marketing don't talk about. You need to get people onto your list. They have to come from somewhere. Email marketing is not the top of your funnel. The top of your funnel is any platform that gives you wide reach. We need to find people before they get on our list. So, a couple ways that you can do that. One, you can meet people in person. So maybe you're going to networking events and you're collecting people's emails. Maybe you're teaching a class. I mean, at that point, people would already know you, but maybe you're guesting and teaching a class and you put out a piece of paper on the table and everybody who comes puts their name and email and then you go home and you type those all out. Maybe you collaborate with someone who has a different business, but the same ideal audience, and you go and you virtually speak to their community of 20 people, their clients, and then you get those names on your list. And like a few people at a time, 10, 20, 30, you grow your list that way. It takes time, but again, you have a higher chance of a conversion rate from those people. So that's one way that you can, well, that's 3 ways, but that's a bunch of ways that you can grow your list from these in-person interactions. Another way you can get people onto your list is through ads. Facebook ads, Google ads, pop-up ads, anything like that. So if someone, say, Googles your business and then they show up on your website, you can have a pop-up that, I'm going to call that an ad, but you can have a pop-up that says, hey, subscribe now for 10% off, or subscribe now and never miss another update, or whatever. You give them a reason to want to put their name in. I'm sure you've seen these little pop-up on your website, but people still had to get there, right? They still had to Google you. They still had to show up on your website. One of the best ways to get people onto your list is to have some sort of a freebie or lead magnet or opt-in. Everybody calls them by a different name, but basically you're giving something away, like a digital download, like a free PDF or a free training or webinar or an ebook even. So you're going to give that thing away that you know your client wants in exchange for their email. So you could run Facebook ads that gives that thing away. All people need to do is pop their email in. But in that case, you are paying for it. You're going to have to pay for every single person that comes onto that list. Facebook ads are not cheap. They take a lot of time. They take testing. But again, you can be really specific about the people that they're shown to. So a top of funnel Facebook ad strategy that leads to list growth, that can be very valuable. And there's lots of experts there who can set that up for you so you don't even need to do it yourself. They'll set it up for you and you can put a certain amount of money, like a few $100s a month into that in order to grow your list. And then once people are on your list, you're sending them those weekly or monthly nurturing emails. And then eventually those people can lead to sales. And then, of course, my method of choice is organic social media. Organic platforms like Instagram get your face and your content in your business in front of strangers for free. And then from there, you can pull them onto your list. Actually, inside my program, Magic Marketing Machine, we have a template called Sell Your Freebie. And people have used this template to get hundreds of people onto their email list. It's so powerful. So in that case, you're creating content that promotes your free giveaway, and then people click the link, they give you their email, and now not only do they have your freebie, which is making them fall in love with you, but now you've got them on social media, so they're going to see your content coming up there, and you've got them on email, so you can be nurturing them there. So you're now nurturing your leads from a variety of directions, which is making them fall in love with you faster and making you what we call top of mind. Every time they see your content, they see you in their inbox, they see you in their DMs, you are becoming top of mind. And then when they're ready to buy, you are the first person who they think of. You're the first name that comes to mind. I get messages from program members all the time about how successful this strategy is. Here, like, look, I've got one right here. It says, Jenna, I have to tell you, I literally keep using the same sell your freebie script and my email list is on fire. The reel I made today, 50 subscribers already. It's the same exact caption. This is one of the best things I've ever learned from you, she says. That's from one of our program members. So you can literally repurpose this again and again. New people are always following you, right? So you don't just promote your freebie once, you promote it all the time. Some people are going to need to hear about it multiple times before they opt into your mailing list. And some people are brand new and they've never heard you talk about it before. And some people are going to hear you talk about it, go, oh, I already have that. Great. And move on. And it doesn't matter. Like, they're not going to be mad that you talked about it more than once, right? I have spoken in summits and grown my email list incrementally. That way, I have guested in communities over and over and over again and grown my email list that way. But nothing holds a candle to the growth of my email list that has come from my social media. And you get to do what works for you. Maybe email marketing, maybe you're like, great, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I listened to this. I know I don't want to do that yet. You don't have to. There are absolutely no rules. But you can also just start it gently. Start a spreadsheet. Start a spreadsheet and start collecting emails from people who want to keep updated with you. And you can just send out a blast and BCC everybody every now and then. You could totally do that. The whole goal here is that you're connecting with people. You're reminding them that they exist. You're giving value so that they appreciate you and they learn that you know your stuff and you're an expert. And then eventually, when you need a client or you want a client, you have an audience of piping hot leads ready to sell to. If you're interested in working with me inside Magic Marketing Machine, there is a free training down in the show notes called How to Get Clients from Instagram Without Wasting Hours Glued to Your Phone. It gives you the exact strategy that people in the program use to run their Instagram in 15 minutes a day, make more content faster, really hone in on who your ideal customer is, and sell in a way that feels good and get clients from Instagram. So watch that training. It'll give you that strategy and then also tell you exactly how you can join me inside the program. I hope that this episode lit a fire under your butt and you're going to go reach out to your audience today and grow that business of yours. Meantime, I'll see you in the next episode.